And what we're doing, in my opinion, as we work on this, we are opening up the way for the children who are being born now and in the near future to come in consciously. What I like, the target of my work is to enhance the ability to come into this world, into this matrix consciously, and to exit it consciously. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I want to emphasize here. So every little bit of work that we do around this is to enhance that. And the more that we do that in ourselves, we are aiding that process. And I can tell you, I am 100% convinced that when children are born consciously here, war will cease. No longer will people kill each other. Maybe here and there, but not on a big scale. That will not be possible. And when we cease making weapons out of everything that's every new human invention, when we cease that, and I believe it's important that we do our best to work on that with ourselves. But when we cease doing that, humanity will be flooded with all kinds of information, all kinds of inventions and discoveries that will be really mind-blowing. Our evolution will really take off. Now, I said something about giving up the need to weaponize information. This also happens at a personal level. Let me see if I can think of an example. Okay, you may go do, I don't know if I can make up a good example or not, but I've seen this happen. You go learn some spiritual things, knowledge, information, or practice, and then later, somebody you're in relationship with, there's a little upset in the relationship, a little discord in the relationship, and you use this against the other person. Even if you go and study, let's say, what's something popular in psychology that somebody might have studied, let's say projection or attachment theory. Even that information, you can weaponize it against someone that you're in a relationship with. Say you've studied this and the other person has no idea, and you launch this thing on, oh, well, you're being blah, blah, blah. You have weaponized that information against that person. This is very subtle, and it's difficult actually to see it happening in yourself. But I have seen this happen. And so it can be a workout to implement that, but it starts with a commitment, and commitment starts with willingness. Am I really totally willing to give up any kind of weaponization, new understanding, new knowledge, new wisdom, new insight, new consciousness? And that's an important part of, I would say this is advanced material, but important if you can understand this. And like I said, it starts with willingness. Am I willing to really give this tendency up? Because anytime you say to somebody, you're projecting on me, you can't say you're projecting on me if you're not projecting on them. You have to be projecting in order to say somebody else is projecting. How could you not? You see how kind of, I don't want to say insidious, because that would be an insult to the world of psychology, and they've done a tremendous amount of good work.
Alan, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is it during the attempt to manipulate the other, or to when I'm weaponizing information? Is it when I'm using it to manipulate someone else, or to reinforce my sense of separateness or superiority or uniqueness?
Well, it could be, I guess it could be any of that. Yeah. I don't want to be too linear about it, or too too definitive about it. It's not
Okay.
something I've explored a lot. I've just seen this happen amongst people in a relationship, that we go and we learn something, we come back, and when there's discord in the relationship, we tend to use that as a weapon against the other person. What I'm saying is, as a species, when we cease doing that, and I've heard Master Cryon talk about this, when humanity ceases to weaponize new inventions, when we really give that up, much greater inventions will come. Much greater information will be given to the human race, which will enable us to go to a higher level of peace, compassion, and joyful and creative expression on this planet. So the work that I do is focused on the entrance and the exit. And they're pretty well synced together, I believe. Is that okay, Jim? Anything else on that, or should we go on into?
No, that's very helpful. The more general is helpful.
Okay. Oh, good questions. I need the questions to bring clarity and help refine some of this.